Hey y'all, it's Kim. So of course I like to watch Gutfeld besides Lefty's losing it. But he's got some really good takes on just basically all the stuff that's going right now. But I can't remember if this is the one because I've watched a couple of them today for Gutfeld. But basically the Dems storming that stupid ice facility in New Jersey and all that stuff. I mean, it's just like they are on the wrong side of everything at this point. But we'll see how it goes during the midterms and, of course, this 2028 election. Because, of course, we got to continue to look forward because, we may have had a bump in the road because of the stupid stock market, but because of the tariffs, but people were just uncertain. Now things are starting to kind of turn back around. He's getting some of these deals done, and people are still obviously pissed off at him. But he's got the drug deals or whatever he's trying to do as far as the prescription drug thing. And anyway, of course, the Dems will find a way to spin it, I'm sure. Hold on, just in case you need to know. It just says love on it. But anyway, let's watch Gutfeld. I love their take on everything, and the panelists that are on there too. It's a pretty funny show. Anyway, let's go and go.
Tonight on We Don't Deserve Them, the wins keep rolling in. It's true. Consider this list so far. China agreed to cut tariffs. Zelensky's potentially meeting with Putin to talk peace for the first time. The White House brokered the Indian-Pakistan truce. Who knows how long that'll last? He's building a facility for homeless vets with funds previously spent on illegals. Big deal.
Yeah.
I snagged a Venezuelan hitman.
Yeah.
He was living with Nancy. Hamas is releasing an American hostage as a gesture to Trump, and he's slashing prescription drug prices. But I wonder if there's a story behind that.
I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine who's a businessman, very, very, very top guy. Most of you would have heard of him. Seriously overweight, and he takes the fat shot drug. And he called me up, and he said, "I'm in London, and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take." I said, "It's not working." He said, "I just paid $88. And in New York, I pay $1,300. Wow. What the hell is going on?"
The fat shot.
Man, was Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh!
At least they're talking. At least they're talking again. Oh man, Colby, so it's like all of these things just start piling up, and it's because all the hard work happened up front, and now it's paying dividends. What do you think's behind this?
Biden, left us in a really big hole, and then Trump's fixing that disaster. He's putting America first again, and we haven't seen America first in a long time. So I think Donald Trump deserves a Nobel Peace Prize, and if he doesn't get it.
He'll get the prize and he'll go, "Oh, this is okay." He'll put it aside.
Yeah. Every one of these things is like a legacy defining achievement of a president. And he literally turns one out every hour.
I know, on a Sunday. This was a weekend. It's like, I guess he didn't celebrate Mother's Day because we were all like out at brunch, and he's like doing these deals.
Totally. But what's so incredible about it is that the whole time, as we talk about this ongoing conversation about the Democratic Party and the narrative from the liberal left, they will never champion a success. They will never acknowledge that they were the ones the whole time from trying to you'll never bag that beast. Oh, really? Because China just caved. Or, there's no way that this sort of bull in a China shop can ever have the foreign diplomacy required to actually negotiate peace deals. Really? India and Pakistan. The wins keep coming of these colossal problems that the left kept saying, there's no way that this can ever be solvable. The mess Trump created was beyond repair at all. And he nails everything. But I'm waiting for that success box to be checked on their side. But as you put it, with their head still up their ass, there's no way they're even going to see where the door is. So I guess we should just take the win because we're going to keep winning at the election ballot too.
Yeah,
My mom used to say people like that needed a glass stomach because it was up their ass. But anyway.
Did you catch the vibe today at all? I don't want to. So Harold, he's smart, knows his was saying, like, of course, the stock market's back up because we caved to China.
That's their talking point.
Why does Harold and his minions look at negotiation as a cave?
Because he's a married man.
Harold's gonna text me.
Hey, look, man, I love Harold, and I will never besmirch his name, but he is wrong on this one. I think the problem, and President Trump is no dummy. He's aware that he has to do all this before midterms because we like to talk about the left so much, but we need to focus on the right a little bit because they make money too. And what he's doing by doing things fast, their heads aren't up their ass anymore, Greg. Their head is going through their wallet going, where's our money going?
Yeah.
Because they cannot fleece the system. What Trump is doing when he says we're going to drop prices on medication, what would the Dems do? We're going to form a committee.
We're going to get
Then that committee's going to do some investigation. Of course, we need to get paid to do that. We need to get extra money to do that. Then they're going to go over there and they're going to talk to the other side. And the other side will listen, we'll put some money in your campaign if you can slow this down. So then that's how the money wheel goes round and round. Trump is cutting that out because he doesn't need their money. So, and he's doing it on a mass. He's doing it bam, 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 because he's well aware that there are snakes in the Republican Party who care about their money more than the American people. So and we're starting to see it. They'll start opposing things and going after things, and all of a sudden around midterms, they'll do things on purpose to try to get their agenda across, and that's when the Dems will make their move. So he realizes that he doesn't have 4 years to fix things. He literally has 9 months to fix things before the swamp comes for him, because it's a very dangerous time for President Trump and anybody who works and supports him. Everyone should be watching their six, because what he's doing is he's helping us, but at the same time, he's cutting the head off the snake, and they're not going to let that happen.
Yeah, Jamie. It's Monday. I read off, 5 or 6 successes in one day. You may, if you're lucky, have one success in your life. You've yet to see it.
Yeah.
Does it give you hope?
And it'll probably be a suicide attempt.
Your one success, Jamie, will be killing yourself. Shut up! Joke.
Honestly, I'll only do it for attention. It is crazy, though. You list all these successes every time I'm on the show. Every week, it's a week more of successes. Do you remember Biden doing? I was trying to think. I was like, what? Like, let me have an open mind. Like, what's one? The only big moves Biden ever had were in his pants. And this guy, he's doing. That's a silly joke, but I sort of feel like it's true. There's not much that went on. Can we do one thing, though, Greg?
Yeah.
I loved what Trump was saying about. I believe he was talking about Ozempic.
Yeah.
But he called it the fat shot.
Yes.
Could we please have Trump rename all drugs?
Yeah.
Imagine you go to the doctor, you're like, yeah, I'm here for my limp pills.
That's so true. I'm
so
like,
much
right now, I'm
easier.
going through my head.
Yeah. The commercials would be way better.
Can I get a refill on my not so sads?
That's pretty good. He will. All right, up next, a lib host trashes America.
Hey, Sean Hannity here.
Of course
Hey,
they would. Anyway, I just wanted to watch that. I couldn't remember which one it was. It might be this one where it was talking about it said, hold on, let me start this. It says Dems are the Charlie Sheen of politics.
A sofa
Ew.
brand is looking for a professional napper and will pay 10 grand to rest and digest for the summer. Finally, a job that I'm qualified for, said one man. True, his qualifications include previously being laid to rest.
Oh no.
All right, it was unnecessary. Earlier today, a jury was sworn in for the trial of Sean Diddy Combs. Apparently, they took an oath while placing their right hand on the ass of an unconscious male escort. Oh, you like that one? I can't figure you people out. Finally, federal judges say unsolicited pizza deliveries to their homes are meant to intimidate them. In a related story, guess who wants to be a federal judge? That makes sense. All right, monologue time. So right now, the Dems are the Charlie Sheen of politics.
Man.
The junkie who realizes everyone was right. I got a serious problem and I need help. Take the Dems resident twerp DNC Vice Chair David Hogg, who actually said something true on Bill Maher.
Younger men, they would rather vote for somebody who, even if they don't completely agree with, they don't feel judged by, than somebody who they do agree with, that they feel like they have to walk on eggshells around constantly because they're going to be judged or ostracized or excommunicated. Ultimately, what we have to do here is figure out how to bring people back in and work towards the bigger goal of advancing the future of this country. Young people should be able to focus on what young people should be focused on, which is how to get laid and how to go and have fun.
Yeah. I like how he said get laid and have fun. Like the two are mutually exclusive. Although a lover who votes Democrat must be kind of a bummer. She won't let you sleep with her until you admit women should vote. Not gonna happen. But even the loudest, most annoying voices in the party are chiming in. Here's Jasmine Crockett auditioning for a job at Frontier Air.
Yeah.
I bet there's a lot of people who are like, oh, let's go find the safest white boy we can find.
There's a lot of people that are like, you know what? Like, let's go find the safest white boy we can find. I mean, I'm
She's
just saying.
stupid.
A white man's got
Stupid.
a
No.
caller.
For real. And to be clear, when we talk
She's
about
dumb as
them, I
hell.
can tell you that there is one specific candidate.
Hmm.
I had a donor on the phones with me telling me that all the donors are lining up behind that candidate. So I can tell, and I tell you, it's not a black person nor woman.
Thanks, darling. The money's on the dresser.
Oh.
So now, I don't know what that means either. So now the left knows they must change. Some already are. Do you remember this lady? That's Stephanie Rule before Trump.
Oh my
Cute.
goodness.
This is her now.
Ew.
Who does she remind you of?
Rachel Maddow and Stephen
I
Colbert.
know. If I were Rachel, I'd be kind of worried. It reminds me of that stalker movie, Single White Female,
Ooh.
except it's single white male.
Ew.
What does this tell you? With Trump ruling the road of common sense, the Dems can only move more left. Rule wasn't always a left-wing scold. She spent
That hair is like an emotional breakdown starter pack with the glasses and everything. I mean, they just get miserable. I don't know what happens to them unless they just sell their soul to the devil. Just in their attacks on Trump, I mean, their hatred for Trump is just out overriding any sense in their brain of what's normal. So dumb.
14 years in finance. Now she's mostly worried about the price of cats. Because she's,
Because she's ugly, no kids.
My guess is Jen Psaki's next. By the second episode of her new show,
Ugh.
ratings in the key demo, people 24 to 54 plunged, with 65,000 in the entire country tuning in.
Who the hell
I could
wants to
get that
listen to
many
her?
reading Kilmeade's book on my OnlyFans.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, she couldn't even give any kind of answers while she was a press secretary. She'd be like, I gotta circle back, Jen. Yeah.
how
okay.
long before Jen Psaki goes from this to this?
Ew.
Because the Dems, they can't return to normal.
No, there is
On
no
Friday,
normalcy.
3 Democrats
Oh,
stormed
yeah.
an ICE facility in Newark. Even the city's lefty mayor was
Look
arrested.
at that. Look
I
at
guess he
that
knows
lady
that jail is safer than the
in
streets
the
of
red
Newark.
jacket.
But these are the responses to Trump: theater, outrage, screaming. No wonder Dems have decided they need ideas. But first, they need ideas on coming up with ideas. And then you're going to need ideas for that, too.
And they
You know,
need a
ideas
committee
that
for
would lead them
that.
to ideas, that would help them figure out ideas to create ideas. It's an infinite regress, with each move depending on a precursor. There's no bottom to their problem, because a bottom needs a floor, a foundational set of first principles. That would mean you have to say there's a culture with norms and traditions, rights and wrongs. But the Dems are that elevator shaft with no elevator in it. Whatever idea they have immediately falls 60 stories into the abyss. Now, we have a bottom that's easy to express. Law and order, safety and security, free markets based on a fair share of transfer of commodities. It's simple. I did that in 30 seconds. I didn't even have to look up from my online kangaroo porn. But if you lack foundational principles, you're screwed. Sadly, the Dems embraced a mind virus that deems such principles oppressive. And now without the foundation, they're trying to build a house on quicksand. And any crackpot idea can take hold. How did trans hysteria find root in their party? How did squatting and mass theft become acceptable? Why did the Dems circle their wagons around a gangbanger? How did Hamas become sympathetic? How did minor attracted persons stop meaning you wanted to bang coal miners? Look at how climate change just disappeared, like the ice caps were supposed to 30 years ago. I guess when you say the planet's going to expire in 5 years, where do you go next? Blocking traffic? Destroying paintings? Calling the patron saint of electric cars Hitler? How do you go further left on no cash bail, open borders, men and women's bathrooms? It's like Howard Stern's shock comedy. Eventually you run out and turn gay. They've gone so far in the wrong direction, they've lost America. Of course, they could claw their way back to the middle, but it also means sharing the road that Trump owns. Common sense. But first, the Dems must find their bottom. Too bad their heads are stuck inside it. Welcome. This marriage. Back to writer comedian Jamie Lissow. He solves problems the old-fashioned way with physical violence. MMA star Colby Covington. She sometimes stops in mid-sentence to let her fillings cool. Our co-host Emily Capagno. And he used the whole book of stamps sending out Mother's Day cards. New York Times bestselling author, comedian, and former NWA World Heavyweight terrorist. Hit rock bottom. Some say many times.
Yeah, I remember once I thought it was rock bottom, and I was like, nope, you can go lower.
Yes. It feels like the Dems are at their rock bottom. Can they get, what would you tell them to do at this point?
I would say just quit while you're behind.
Yes.
Can I just stop for a second? During the monologue, did you say kangaroo porn?
Yes.
Just want to make sure. It makes sense though, because I remember a while ago, I go, what type of porn do you like? And you go, whatever jumps out of me. Did I ever tell you?
I love how you had that whole setup there.
Yeah.
It's like, where's he going with it?
Yeah. My ex-wife wanted to film a porn once. She goes, you could be the pizza guy. And I go, that's cool. So I deliver the pizza and we get frisky. And she goes, no, after I have sex with that guy on camera, we're going to be hungry. It's that ice video is lunacy. They've lost their mind, and I honestly kind of believe. I don't know what could possibly bring them out of this rut. That ice video in the video, I don't know if they what I read said there was like a dude. I don't know if he was a congressman or something. He body slammed a female ice age. Like, what are they doing? I haven't seen a man abuse a woman like that since the Paris Olympics.
That's what you call a callback. Colby, welcome to the show. We ask this question. We ask this question almost every night. Why are the Dems losing men? You're in the MMA. I'm sure you have an opinion on this.
I mean, they're just a bunch of betas, you know. They don't like alpha men. They don't like toxic masculinity anymore. They want to demasculize men, and it's not right. That's why, you know, a lot of the alpha males are leaving the Dem party.
Yeah, it's not just the alphas, though. Most men are.
Yeah.
I mean, Jamie left. He's not an alpha male. He's more like Zeta.
Yeah, Gamma.
Gamma, maybe Gamma.
He's an assistant to the assistant alpha male.
What is there any way could you see like guys returning to the party.
Yeah. They've gone so far lunatic left that there's no returning. The DEI circus stuff that they're parading around and trying to rally behind is just, it's unacceptable, and it's anti-American, and that's why no alpha male will ever return to that beta party.
The beta party, the master beta party. They're struggling for ideas, but to have ideas, you got to have some basic principles. And I'm trying to think, what is the basic principle of the modern Democrat Party? And I can only think of power, that they see everything through the prism of power. Like that's what identity politics was. If you are of this intersectionality, you have more power than this person. Is there any other principle? I don't know what other principle there is.
I agree, because it's application. I would say, yes, control. And then the application of that, their strategy is resist. Now, I was on the West Coast this weekend, and someone had a huge chalkboard as their garage door, so people walking by could make art. And of course, there was someone that wrote a huge resist. And then people after that said, who and what and how? And that's exactly the question that these Dems aren't answering. So, for example, all of those lawmakers, and by the way, that was a female lawmaker that body slammed. Like, I know that it's confused, but yeah, exactly. Like,
what do they identify as?
I mean,
she's fat, so I assume
cares?
it's a they.
Totally. But the whole point is that they're provoking, right? They provoke to get arrested, so they have that notch on their belts. But then they cry that it's a dictatorship, because who else would actually arrest lawmakers? And the irony that I find hilarious is that they actually have oversight. And I said, if you guys had just requested a tour,
they could have a tour.
Yeah, doors are open for you anytime. But when you break in and you body slam ICE agents, then your ass is going to get arrested, because mess around and find out. And it reminded me of when we covered the Burning Man protests, the shock of the protesters who were sleeping on the freeway at being like removed force. Like, he touched me. Yeah. What do you think is going to happen? The consequences are real. So right now, all they're doing is having a tantrum to try to claw back that control that you talked about.
And like she said about the Democrats wanting basically a notch on their belt, I think they want a mugshot, almost like Trump did, because they know what kind of clout it actually brought him. More people have respect for him than what they had for the Democrats, with all the lawfare against Trump. So I think that's part of it too. And of course, they know that donors are stupid, and they'll start sending money in. Oh, he's doing something for us. Yeah, right. They hadn't been doing anything this last 4 years when these people were coming across the border. So now they want to go over there to the ICE facility and do something about that. It's like, no, you can't fight for Americans and fight for illegals at the same time. They're totally different things.
They could have had a tour, but they wouldn't have got the press.
They didn't come for no damn tour. They came for exactly that. We're going to do some dumb the people who could lose their jobs are not going to risk their jobs. So they can be the toughest guy in the room because they know security's not going to hurt them. So it's just more. Listen, this whole, even that stupid interview with the metrosexual DNC guy that Hobbs or whatever.
Isn't it funny?
No, he's not funny. And I was like, I couldn't believe he's not. It's a joke. You mean to tell me, because you would like that, to where the only thing that young people are thinking about is getting laid and having fun. Well, that goes against everything that America's about. You just work your ass off. You get to a point. Fellas, once you get the whip in a little pocket in your ATM, you get laid a lot.
Yes.
Okay?
You're absolutely right. I guess what he's trying to say is, I'm tired of these women telling us, well, you know, why don't you be a man?
Be man up. But that's not the only way this works. And this is a lot like someone trying to give dating tips to a cat lady.
Yes.
Okay? It took a long time for her to get there.
Yeah. Okay?
It's not one thing that's going to get her out. You feel where I'm going here?
Yes.
The Democratic Party, the only way it works is mass resignations.
Yes.
You have to get rid of all of them, her, him included.
Yes.
They're not, because they're fake. They are part of the problem. They all benefited during the 4 years of shadow government. They're the shadow government posing as Democrats. The only way is for all of them, one, confess their crimes and leave and never come back to government again. They won't do that, so they come out with stupid ass like on Bill Maher's dumbass show going, well, all we have to do is convince guys that we're not assholes. It's not going to happen. It doesn't matter how you do it, how you change it. They're corrupt. America sees it. There's only one way, a massive clean out. And they're not willing to let go of power.
Of course not. Anyway, that's pretty funny. I just had to share that with you guys. I saw that this morning while I was walking. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. I'm going to put up Lefty's losing it too because, of course I got to watch Miss Rita. Anyway, talk to y'all later. Bye.